Hey everyone, it's your girl Shanithia. I am coming with you another week. It's going to be week 14. I am a winner. Daily reading Joshua 17 and 20, Joshua 21 and 24, Proverbs 15 and 17, Judges 1 and 3, Judges 4 and 6, Judges 7 and 10. Around this country, football, basketball, and baseball seasons are as defined as winter, spring, summer, and fall. We live in a competition society. We love to see a team work together to win the game. Well, whether we know it or not, we're all in a game. The game is life, and we have an adversary who does not want to see us win, to see our families flourish, or to see our marriage work. He doesn't want our business to be successful or us to be happy and complete. There there's a lot on the line, and there will be a winner and a loser. I don't know about you, but I've made up my mind that I'm going to win this one. In the book of Judges, we find an account of how God gave Gideon victory over his enemies. In Judges 6, the Israelites had become rebellious, and God allowed the nation of the Midianites to take dominance over them. But then God had mercy and assigned Gideon to go and rescue them. Gideon didn't think he had what it took to accomplish the assignment. His tribe was the weakest of the bunch, and there was no way they would be able to take the Midianites. So Gideon asked God for a sign, and God gave it to him. In fact, God gave him several signs to prove that he was with him. Because Gideon was like a lot of us. We don't always take God at his word, and we want signs after signs so that we can be assured he's going to do what he said. When Gideon was finally convinced, he brought an army of 32,000 men to the battle of the Midianites. But God had him send home all but 300, saying he would provide victory. Judges 7 and 7. God kept his promise with just 300 men. Gideon was victorious over the Midianites. Sometimes you just have to stand on what God says alone. That's what faith is, according to Hebrews 11 and 1. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. When you don't have the evidence, you have to trust what he says, even if it doesn't make sense. If God had already called you a winner, you are a winner. If God said you are success, then you are success. You don't need a sign or a secret code. You just need to remember what he says. He said, in spite of the odds, we have to always remember that if God is for us, he is more than the whole world against us. Romans 8 and 31. The kind of favor swinging the odds our way and making us winners. Okay? Would you have trusted God's instructions to send most of your men home? Why or why not? I would say yes. Because honestly, when he said in the scripture, then the Lord said, in Judges 7 and 4 and 5, he said, then the Lord said to Gideon, there There are still too many troops. Take them down the water, and I will test them for you. So I would say yes, because I would trust God's instructions, because he is testing them for me. Because it's good that God tests people instead of you just, going along with the people he knows what's up to, because God sees everything and knows everything. So it's kind of like God knows what's best for his children. So I would say yes. I would trust his instructions to be like, okay, God, well, you know who needs to come and what I need to do, and send who's not the best, who's not the best. Okay. Has there been a time in your life when you trusted God success against all odds? Yes. I trusted God many, many times of my life when I was down to nothing. I was down to like a little bit of money, and God always makes a way for me. And, he done it for you too. So, when I was just like, God, I ain't got it. And then he always made a way. So I have trusted God, not just with money, but just with anything in my life. I have trusted him with friendships. I have trusted him with relationships. I have trusted with money, and I have trusted him with the different jobs that I had. I have trusted God. It wasn't easy trusting him, but it's always best to trust God, because like I said, he knows everything, and he can, even when you can't fight the battle yourself, you give God the battle. Sometimes I'll be like, God, just take this battle. Just take this, or I always say, take this burden from me, because I can't do it on my own, and, he takes it, and literally he's the best person at different battles, but especially the ones that are so heavy, and you're like, God, I can't breathe, my chest, oh, it's so heavy. And it's just like, just take it from me. And then he just really, like, it's just release and that peace over it. So yes, I have trusted, I have been many a times I have trusted God in many of things, in many of battles, and many of things that I'm just like, God only knows what I've been through. So yes. In Judges 7, 9, and 11, God instructs Gideon to go to the enemy's camp. Why and what were the results? When I read 7 and 9, it pretty much just I can read it to you guys. So it says God instructed Gideon. So let me read it to you. What was it? 7 and 9. So I'm gonna read it through the Bible. To the Bible, it says, where's 9? It says, that night the Lord said to Gideon, get up and attack the camp, for I have handed over to you. But if you're afraid to attack the camp, go down with Purah, your servant. Listen to what they say, and then you will be encouraged to attack the camp. So he went down with Purah, his servant, to oppress the troops who were in the camp. Now the Midianites, the Midianites, and the Canaanites had settled down in the valley like a swarm of locusts, and their camels were as unnumberable as the sand of a seashore. When Gideon arrived, there was a man telling his friend about a dream. He said, listen, I had a dream of a loaf of barley bread came tumbling into the Midianites' camp, struck a tent, and it fell. The loaf turned the tent upside down, and it collapsed. His friend answered, this is nothing less than the sword of the Gideon, son of Joazim. The Israelites, God has handed the entire Midianites camp over to him. So that's what it is, pretty much. That's the results, where he went to the camp, And if you would, like God said, if you're afraid, go to the camp, and he heard pretty much what was pretty much, and encouraged him to do what he had to do. So the verse of the week, which is, I'm pretty much reading the same thing. The Lord told Gideon, with these 300 men, I will rescue you and give you the victory over the Midianites. Send all the other men home. So Gideon collect the provision and the ram horns of the others warriors and sent them home. But he kept the 300 men with him. The Midianites' camp was in the valley, just below Gideon. That night the Lord said, "Get up now, get up, go down into the Midianites' camp, for I have given you victory over them." Judges 7:7-9. So God, at the end of the day, if you're going through a battle, or if you're going through something that you can't even tell nobody, at the end of the day, God's going to give you victory over it. And also give it to God. Whatever is going on with you, whatever you're feeling, give it to God. At the end of the day, He can help you with it. And like I said, when you just feel like, I can't, God, this is bigger than me. Or I just don't, I can't do it myself. Give it to God. You'll get this peace, you get this understanding. Like, He's like, I've been waiting for you to give it to me. And also, like I said, He has people with you. He'll have people help you out. He's sending the people your way. Wherever you are, if you need the help or whatever, the different relationships, friendships, whatever, He's going to send the right people your way. And He's going to rescue you. Like He said, I will rescue you and give you victory. Always happens every time. God will win the battle. So I was going to leave off with, sometimes you just have to stand on what God says. Sometimes you just have to stand on what God says alone. And that's what I'm leaving off today. You gotta, if God's telling you to do something, just do it. It may be scary. It may be at a point where it's like, God, I don't even know how to do it. Go to God, pray about it. If He's telling you to start that business, start the business. If He's telling you to go online, start doing His word, do His word. He is with you every step of the way. And if you can't handle the battle, give it to God. Whatever it is. This is pretty much what He's saying. Like, hey, dude, this battle that Gideon went through. Gideon was questioning too. Like, God, I need sign after sign after sign. And we're like that. We're like that a lot. Like, a lot of us are like, God, did you tell me to do this? You sure? I don't know. My head, you sure? Because it's like, and then, like, for me too, I'd be like, before I get on here, I gotta pray, like, you sure? You want me to do this today? I don't think I can do it like the way this person do it. God wants you to do it how you supposed to do it. That's what I'm learning. So, and He started off with 32,000 men, but God was like, send them home. And when he said in His word, where it says there are still too many troops, take them down to the water and I will test them. God will test them for you. I hope you're hearing that. God will test them for you. He knows. If you just give Him full control, He'll know who needs to be like not in your life. And that's the best way to be. Literally, like, God, who don't I need to be around anymore? Who do I not need to just like, be in that vicinity anymore? God, just kind of like remove me from it. Or, if you can't be removed, God knows what He's doing. You just got to trust Him. So all I can say is you're a winner. No matter what, it's week 14. I am a winner. You are definitely a winner. God said you're going to be a winner. You're going to be successful. You're going to get through this thing, whatever you're going through. And pretty much saying, give him the battle. Give him the battle. If, you're going to win successfully. Like, you're going to be successful. And, he has people for you. If you don't got nobody, or, even if you have people, but, you want that, like, that friendship, that day one or whatever, praying for the good friendships, the right friendships, the right relationships and stuff like that. You'll get that, But just, if you stay with God, be still, wait on him, it'll come in his right time. And it's better to have God's will and also his timing. We don't want to rush things. Trust me. You don't want to rush things, because you want to be in alignment with him. And I hope that was a blessing today. I did the best I can. He told me to get my Bible too. I got my Bible over here too. I got my little notes. Because usually I'll just be reading, but and then I'll say a little bit of the questions. But just remember, you're a winner. You are a winner. You can do this. And if he's telling you to do it, do it. You got this, Start with talking to yourself. I don't know. That's what I used to do back in the day. I would talk on my phone. Like I'm talking to you now. I'd be like, hey, it's your girl, Shanithia. Didn't even realize, which I'm laughing about it. Didn't even realize I was going to be doing this. But God knew. God knew I was going to be I made videos to encourage myself and stuff like that. I'm like, why am I doing this? So I hope this is encouragement. And, you got it. No matter what, you're a winner. Take that with you this week. I am a winner. And stay encouraged. This is your girl, Shanithia, and you have a good night or a good morning. See y'all later.